Guys, they're in the office doing the work on a day-to-day basis. And then there's the talent. The talent are the people that are special and make a massive difference to your business. We all need a combination of those people. Now, you might be all of those people in your office. It doesn't, but you need to have those things in different parts of your job spec. What that definition made me realise, I was doing too much. I tried to do everything. Who thinks they do too much here? Yeah, I've got a good show of hands there. I should have started with that question at the start. It also made me realise that everyone doesn't have to be a star in your team. We spend a lot of time looking for stars, but everyone doesn't need to. There's a space for good people. And different people have different strengths. So what is good leadership? Well, I think the main thing to be a good leader is to be very focused. You've got to focus not only yourself, but all your team to focus on the things that really count, the things that are going to get you to your goals. They need to be great at creating teams. And that means hiring great people. Some people are still afraid of hiring people better than themselves. You've got to look for great people. Bill Gates' famous quote, they asked him what was the best thing he ever did in business. It wasn't anything to do with money or computers. He said, what I did best was hire great people. And that's what he believes transformed his business. Is anyone here richer than Bill Gates before I go on? Okay, no, apart from this gentleman at the front. I'll be seeing you later. And leaders also don't have to be flamboyant. There's this perception, you need to have a real flamboyant leader, he needs to be fantastic. Okay, it's not about that. Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, by political commentators, they believe that she's the best politician of this era. But she's not Bill Clinton. She hasn't got the charisma of Bill Clinton. She hasn't got the rhetoric of Barack Obama. She hasn't got the fear factor of Putin. She hasn't got the fear factor of Mark. Now, he's got the charisma. He's got the charisma. So there's no single definition of a leader. Think of Arsene Wenger to Alex Ferguson, very different people. Think of Jose Mourinho, who believes everyone should be their friend. And contrast that to Alf Ramsey, who wouldn't even speak to a lot of his players when they weren't playing. It's a very different thing. But there's no right way of being a leader. But you've got to find your leadership abilities and be able to focus your staff and yourself. Then you come on to the warriors. Warriors are the people that do the work. Sometimes we don't look after our warriors well enough. We need to celebrate our warriors. Because they're the guys that are on the ground floor doing the work day to day. If you notice, when Alex Ferguson, whenever Manchester United won a goal, when he was the manager there, he would be the kit man, would be the first person he hugged. The kit man. And that sent a powerful message all around. And he got really motivated people that bought into his values. It reminds me of a story of when JFK went to NASA, when America were trying to put the first man on the moon. And he saw all the astronauts, saw all the engineers, and on the way out, he saw a man that was cleaning the floor. And he said to him, "What are you doing here?" And the man said, "I'm cleaning the floor." No, he didn't. That's a joke. Okay. He said, "Sir, I'm here to help put a man on the moon." So he understood that for a man, he wasn't going to fly the rocket, was he? But he wasn't doing the engineering. But he understood for those guys to be doing good at their job, he needs to keep the place clean. That's what you need your warriors to be doing for you. They're really important. And then you've got your talent. One tip, you always got to be looking for great people. Always. We've got an on-go recruitment drive. If you find great people, they'll make you money and they'll improve your customer service. Always be looking for great people. But talent can be sometimes good and sometimes bad because they can be very disruptive. Have you ever had a great valuer, a great manager that's come in? Actually, it's been very disruptive 90% of the time, but he just gets those properties on and gets them at the right rate. Yeah, people are nodding their heads. It happens. So great talent is not always a great team player. Sometimes you've got to work with that talent. If they're that good, sometimes people take the view, we're going to work with him. He's so good. Who remembers when Eric Cantona dived into a Crystal Palace fan and kicked him? There was no major discipline by Alex Ferguson because Eric Cantona was such a talent. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm not too sure, but that's what he did. But sometimes talent goes too far. Talent goes too far. When talent goes too far, if they cross the line, This is Craig Donaldson, the CEO of Metro Bank. He operates a FIFO approach to hiring and firing. Does anyone know what FIFO? No, it's fit in or... Yeah, you guessed it. You got it right. No, you got it wrong. But that is actually what he meant. If people are not genuine to his values and his culture, he gets rid of them. We introduced that. Think of Roy Keane and Manchester United. When he publicly criticised the rest of the players, that Alex Ferguson got rid of him. We operate a very similar system at our business because we got solicitors in who were great technicians. They were talented, fantastic technicians, best in the country, but they didn't have our values. They hated you guys. How can you hate such a lovely bunch of people? But they weren't motivated by getting deals through. So those people are not right people. If they don't, it's not your culture fit, you shouldn't be having them. The next thing you've got to think about is teamship. What do I mean by teamship? Well, you might have a great team, but you've got to motivate your team. Motivation comes partly from money. We know that. We pay our lawyers commission. We know it comes partly, but that's not everything. It gets to a certain point. It's not about money anymore. It's about recognition. It's about a sense of purpose, giving that person a reason to get out of bed in the morning. And that's why it's all closely related to our goals, our strategies, and our tactics. People are going to love coming to work. So what does that get you? What does that get you and your client? If you've got teamship, you've got to motivate your team, what does that get you? Well, let me describe it by a story. Michael Phelps was trying to break a world record for the most Olympic medals in one Olympic Games. And he would do that if he got one more gold. And it was in the 4x100 relay for a freestyle. The problem was, in the last leg was the oldest man in the USA team. The problem was, against him was the French guy that just broke the world record for freestyle. And the other problem was, he started off a body length down. So in swimming, I don't swim very much, but in swimming, that's a lot. He said, at the end, he beat this guy. He beat him by the smallest margin ever in history. But he said the thing that kept him motivated was the fact that by winning that gold, he was going to win a gold. But more important than that, he was going to win the world record for the most goals ever for his colleague, Michael Phelps. You've got to encourage that sort of, teamship with your staff. Because that's going to get you great results. It's going to get your clients great results. And we're here to serve our clients. So we've got the building blocks. You've got a great team. You've got teamship. Is that enough? No, it's not enough. What needs to happen now? He said, take some action. Vision without execution is hallucination. Thomas Edison. You've got to actually do something about it. So it's very good to have great ideas. It's fantastic. But if you don't take any action, nothing's going to happen. To take action, we've got to change our habits. So habits are the rituals and behaviours we perform automatically. Tying your shoelaces. No one's still focusing on tying their shoelaces now. Yeah. Well, some of you, I think, might be, by that reaction. But you know what I mean? The things you do every day. Do you come in the morning and start planning your day, which I think is a great thing? Or do you come in the morning and start doing your emails and just firing off to everyone? What are your habits? What do you do unconsciously? Those are the things you've got to change. We all said earlier we wanted to win. So you've got to look at yourself and think, what are your good habits and what are your bad habits? Your habits got you to where you are today. If you want to go beyond that, you need to change your habits. As Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You have to change your habits. I'm going to give you a solution about changing your habits. Whoa. I'm going to give you a solution about changing your habits. Excellent. So first of all, how long do the habits take to change? Anyone have a guess? How long do the habits take to change? 100 hours. I have here 100 hours. 3 months. Anyone else? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Anyone else? 19 days. Right, okay. So, there's no answer. Is the answer? Anthony Robbins, I was trained by Anthony Robbins. I'm very lucky to be trained by him. Most motivational man I've ever met. He said you can change your habits in a heartbeat. That can be true. If I was a lifelong smoker and I've been smoking all my life and I went to my doctor and he said to me, if you have one more cigarette, you would die. I would change in a heartbeat. But it's not normally like that, is it? Habits are not normally that devastating. The science shows anything between 30 to about 66 days. That's what the majority of surveys say. Okay, so first of all, habits take time to change. So you've got to apply your mind to that. The next thing you have to do is find your motivation. You only take action for two reasons. One reason is to avoid pain. Okay, so you're pain motivated. One reason is to gain pleasure. So you're pleasure motivated. So in that picture, if I was running after you, if I was running after you with a big stick, trying to hit you over the head, would that motivate you? Or would I have to give you a carrot to motivate you? Everyone's got their primary driver. It's everything. Everyone's a little bit of everything, but everyone's got their primary driver. Who thinks they're more pain motivated? One person. I'm certainly pain motivated, and that's not in a saucy way. But anyone wants to meet me afterwards, they're welcome to. But I'm pain motivated. Who's pleasure motivated? Who? And the rest of you just not motivated. Okay. So according to in sports, according to Eddie Reese, the US swimming coach, he found in his team 80% of the Olympic team were pain motivated. So pain is a big motivator. In business, Richard Branson says he's very motivated because he hated BA. That was one of his main motivations. Charles Dunstan of Talk hated BT. And he said it's good to have someone to hate. It's good to hate your rivals. So go back and hate your rivals. So, but seriously speaking, you have to find